All right. And does that, you guys know each other? Mr. Jones?
Oh, we just
You
met.
just met,
Yeah.
and you know Chief Barnes, correct? Good, we're ready to go? All right. Well, good afternoon, and thank all members of the media for joining us today to talk about an event that we're putting on tomorrow afternoon. I want to first thank Madison Police Department, the Dane County County Executive's Office, the Law Enforcement Leaders of Colors Collaboration, the NAACP of Dane County, 100 Black Men of Madison, Dane County Supervisors April Kigea and Dane County Supervisor Alex Jowers, and the Dane County Board for helping us in regards to making this event become a reality. Sponsors for this event include MG&E, Tellurian, the NAACP of Dane County, and other private citizen donations. We thank you all for your assistance in making this become a reality. The motivations for this gift card for guns event is, number one, we want to reduce the overall population of unwanted firearms that are within our communities. We want to provide community members with the opportunity to turn in those weapons voluntarily in a safe manner in a safe environment. The firearm safety and education awareness is a huge component of this event as well, as we will be providing information and safety rules in regards to how to properly manipulate firearms, as well as laws that pertain to the appropriate storing of firearms in our communities. But also, too, this has to do with the community collaboration, us coming together, law enforcement, communities, community organizations, and elected officials working together to ensure that our public is safe and that we're doing everything we can to step towards the right directions of improving overall public safety. The objectives of our gift card for guns event tomorrow is to reduce the accessibility of unwanted guns in our community, have a safe place for proper disposal of those unwanted firearms, and also mobilize the Dane County communities through gun violence awareness and firearm safety education. Success of this program has to be done in collaboration with community outreach programs, violence intervention efforts, mental health crisis resources such as CARES and the 988, gun safety education, specific and focused enforcement. So getting into some of the specific details of the event. The event is tomorrow, Saturday, August 13th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Alliant Energy Center. Safety of the event is crucial to us being successful. This is a drive-through only, and please arrive with your firearms in a case or secured in the trunks of your vehicles. We ask that you do not bring any children or pets for safety purposes, as well as we will not be allowing anyone to walk on the premises unless they're directly involved with this event. For those turning in guns, we will also have a limited supply of free gun locks available upon request. Before the guns are destroyed, any guns determined to be stolen will be returned to the investigating agency. Only functional weapons will receive gift cards. We will have firearm experts inspecting the guns to determine if they are fully functional. We will dispose of non-functioning guns if requested. Direct people or please visit danesheriff.com and click on the event, as well as frequently asked questions for additional details in regards to this event tomorrow. And in conclusion, I want to talk about some of the statistics that revolve around firearms in our communities, especially when they're unwanted. These statistics are from everytown.org, which is an organization dedicated to ensuring that every town across the United States of America has appropriate gun safety education throughout. Gun suicide claims the lives of nearly 24,000 people in America every year. Policies and practices that focus on disrupting access to firearms in times of crisis have been proven to reduce suicides. Having access to a firearm triples one's risk of death by suicide. 2/3 of women killed by an intimate partner are killed with a gun. Access to a gun makes it 5 times more likely that a woman will die at the hands of a domestic abuser. More than 80% of child suicides involves a gun that belongs to a family member. The vast majority of child and teen gun homicide deaths and unintentional shooting deaths are injuries that occur in a home. I want to again thank all of my partners that are here for their collaboration and all of the other additional community members that have helped with this. We believe that through proper notification to the community and the willingness and the trust from the community, this will be a successful event, and we will reduce the population of unwanted firearms in our community and provide educational opportunities for those involving firearms. I want to thank you all for your time and dedication to safety here in Dane County, but also I want to bring light to all of the organizations that have helped in some way with our efforts at making this event become a reality. That includes the United Way of Dane County, the Law Enforcement and Leaders of Color Collaboration, Focused Interruption, Briar Patch, the African American Council of Churches, the NAACP of Dane County, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, Tellurian Inc., and MG&E. Thank you again for your time, and I'll be willing to take questions after all of our speakers have finished. Yes, Chief Barnes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to first begin by thanking Sheriff Barrett for including the Madison Police Department in this very important initiative. When he reached out to me initially, I was thinking to myself, how are we going to get this done? But he already had the answer to that. And that lets you know what type of leader he actually really is. Not only does he think about the very important questions about public safety in our community, but he always comes to the table with the solutions as well. And I appreciate you. I thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Chief.
When we talk about gun buybacks, we typically hear two opinions. One opinion is thank you for doing something about this particular problem. And the other opinion that we hear sometimes is, well, criminals won't give their weapons away, especially for a gift card. But if getting guns off the streets were easy, it would have already been done. We understand that this is a tough problem, and it does require a collaborative solution. I want to stress that this program is simply more than just giving someone a gift card for a firearm. We know that crisis situations can happen to many families, as the sheriff alluded to when he talked about the number of people that we lose, family members, neighbors, community members, to suicide every year at the hands of perhaps an unwanted gun in the home. This program is for those who worry about a loved one who is feeling suicidal as well. Someone who has easy access to a firearm. This program is for mom, dad, community members, aunts, uncles, grandparents who do not want to lose a little one to an accidental discharge of a firearm. This program is for those who have inherited a firearm but perhaps do not want to have it anymore, and for anyone who just no longer wants to own a gun. This initiative is about trying to keep as many people safe from gun violence as we possibly can. We will not ask questions about why you're turning this weapon in, your motivation, and we will respect that choice. By turning it over to us, you can make sure that it will be properly disposed and that it will not end up in the hands of anyone that could hurt someone intentionally or accidentally. And we're going to do this, and we're going to do this together, working as a community, working as a collaborative, working with our police department, our sheriff's office, and we're working together with our community to show you that we care about this problem and that we're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that people who live in Dane County are safe. And once again, I want to thank the sheriff for including us in this very important initiative.
Thank you, Chief Barnes. Supervisor Kigea, did you want to speak anything?
Yeah, just echo what was already said, but just very thankful for this partnership. It's one step in order to get guns off the streets. And really, what was really important to me was the aspect of no questions asked, so that people would feel comfortable turning in their firearms and being able to get them off the street. So thank you all for your partnership.
Thank you. Supervisor Charles.
Well, I just want to start by thanking the sheriff again for his leadership. It's really important that we're putting this tool forward in this program, and Also, thank you to our partners, the Madison Police Department, and partners across the community that are really helping to bring this together. I thank my county board colleagues and especially Supervisor Kagia for bringing this forward. And again, it's just one tool that we're giving gun owners the opportunity to be able to safely dispose of unwanted firearms so that they don't fall into the wrong hands. So thank you, Sheriff. Happy to have it.
Thank you. Mr. Greg Jones.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for the opportunity to join this illustrious table here. But my name is Greg Jones, and I'm president of the Dane County National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It is the oldest civil rights organization in this country, and it stands for principles of equity, equal opportunity, fairness, and safety. A thriving community is a safe community. This effort in front of us that will take place tomorrow gives all of us the opportunity to come together and share with each other our life experiences, but more importantly, to give up on those particular elements of unsafeness for all of our residents in this community. I want to first commend the county board, the county administration, including the county exec, sheriff, the city of Madison's chief, and all of those individuals who thought about giving up guns is an opportunity to make Madison more of a thriving community and Dane County more of a safe county. With that said, I just wanted to share with you some closing comments. That one of the principles of the NAACP is to promote policies, programs that offer opportunities for safety and, as I said, equity and quality of life. We believe that this gun buyback program not only offers that opportunity, but it goes beyond that. It opens up the door for future engagement to produce and provide safe opportunities. So I'm going to say two things as I close. I'm going to commend and thank those people right now for tomorrow's efforts and opportunities to bring in those guns that they don't need, don't want, and certainly prevent all kinds of opportunities for future victims, future families, and future residents of Dane County who may suffer from these kinds of events. And then lastly, I just want to thank the sheriff again for having the bold, courageous, my grandmother would say, attitude to say, we need to stand together and do something about this. So for all of the people on this table, I echo what they said, but more importantly, encourage those parents, friends, tomorrow to bring forth those guns that we do not want on the streets. Access is an issue, and we can all stand together. Thank you for the opportunity. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. All right. Were there any questions?
Yeah, all of the data around the gun buyback program typically shows that the people who show up to these kinds of events do get cards and are from low-risk communities, so their guns really weren't likely going to get into the wrong hands, as you suggested. Have you done any outreach to ensure that people who are coming to this event are from those high-risk communities?
Absolutely. We've been in contact with numerous community organizations here in Dane County to really focus on addressing those firearms that we really want. And it comes down to lowering that population, but it starts with trust. And a lot of times that trust doesn't happen on the first go around. When we say no questions asked, we mean no questions asked. And that may take a time or two for those guns that we really want, those individuals that are in possession of those to really see and say, the sheriff really didn't ask any questions. And we're willing to take that risk, and we're willing to take and invest in that, not only with this event, but with future events as well. So we're doing everything that we can to ensure that we get those firearms that we want off of the street, but it will take some time. And we trust that our outreach efforts that we have done will be successful starting tomorrow.
So do you have any expectation for tomorrow that you then expect to do another round of these? It's not necessarily the turnout that you're expecting.
Yeah, so whatever additional funds that we have left over, we will have in another event, and we will continue to assess. We will continue to find ways to improve the efficiency and the success rate and get to those communities where we do want those firearms off of the streets. So this is something that is not a one-time, end-all, be-all. It is something we will continue to evaluate, assess, and improve it for the next time.
I want to jump off of your first point. There's also research that shows that sometimes these events and initiatives don't actually work in preventing guns off of the street and preventing violence. So in terms of this specific event, what are you looking forward to or hoping, like if it works?
Right. So success for us is reducing the population of unwanted firearms. Again, a lot of times we focus on gun ownership, but like Mr. Jones mentioned, it's the accessibility to those firearms that puts everyone's potential safety at risk. I may not personally own a firearm, but if I know where my stepdad keeps his loaded shotgun that's unsecure, I now have access to that, and that now can become a threat to the community. Also, too, this is in collaboration with additional community outreach efforts, focused interruption, focused enforcement, as well as our efforts in regards to working with those that are in mental health crisis. So this isn't the main piece that's going to be the end-all be-all. This is done in collaboration with our other community outreach efforts, and that's what we see as being successful.
Tomorrow is the first gun buyback in Dane County, correct?
Oh.
Or there have been some in the past?
In regards to the Dane County Sheriff's Office, I believe this is the first for us. I know other events or other community organizations have actually had gun buybacks very similar to this.
And I know the first time I heard of it was when you mentioned it during the press conference regarding the Highland park attacks. Was that attack something that really inspired this, or was this kind of in the works and conversation before that happened?
This was in the works and in conversation before that. That just really added additional motivation to why this is so important and why we have to do something and take steps towards reducing the amount of violence that's happening in our communities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Earlier you mentioned a few sponsors who are sort of helping
Mhm.
happen. Is that in addition to the 50K that you're getting money for the Senate resources?
Yes, in addition to that.
Some critics have said that basically that money would be better spent elsewhere in the fiscal year. The opponent, who's currently a Secretary of Sheriff's Officer, Anthony Hamilton, suggested that those funds would be better spent on roundups that has yielded results in recovering stolen weapons, stolen cars. What do you make of that?
Well, that is something that we will continue to do in a focused effort. This is done in collaboration with those efforts, but the money is being well spent, not only in obtaining unwanted firearms, but in the education of that as well, of firearm safety. So we will continue to do what we can to be successful and come with new and innovative ideas that are backed by evidence-based decision-making to ensure that we're doing something and we're working with our communities to build relationships and solve problems.
Do you think those roundups could happen in more frequency to yield kind of tangible results?
Well, again, it depends on specifically the background of the roundup, but the focused enforcement is what is key in regards to getting appropriate intelligence, having appropriate information in regards to identifying where specifically areas of danger are in our community, and that is something we're focused on being a main focus of us as we move forward for public safety.
Tomorrow's event is a drive-through, so no one will be getting out of their cars. I don't know if they go through like this way or kind of what's the route of it and reasoning of doing a drive-through instead of having people on ground.
Right. Well, number one, it starts with safety. As I mentioned, as our first point, safety is our number one concern, and we want to make sure that this event goes successfully, but it's safe. And so by keeping individuals in their vehicles, by not having them bring children and pets, it just increases the safety that we have here. We also will not allow anyone on the premises unless they're directly involved with this. But again, it's really about safety. There will be boards and individuals helping and directing people once they come onto the property to help them find exactly where to go here for the buyback. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll be able to do some additional conversations and things after this. Thank you again. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alert, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.